Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be covering conditional statements and loops in C programming. Guys, I have uploaded complete C language subject tutorials. I will provide link in description. You can watch from there. If you are watching this video for the first time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. At first, I will explain what are conditional statements. We also call these conditional statements as decision making statements. So, conditional statements are used to make decision based on the conditions. Conditional statements are classified into 5 types. First one is if statement, next one is if else, third one is else if, fourth one is switch statement, and fifth one is nested if. I will explain each of them in detail. At first, I will explain what is if statement. If statement execute block of code only if particular condition is true. If condition is false, then whatever the statements that are present inside if will not be executed. I will give an example so that you can clearly understand what is if statement. This is syntax of if statement. At first, you need to write if, and inside brackets you need to give any condition. Open curly bracket, and inside curly bracket you can write some statements. Only if this condition is true, then these statements will be executed. For example, this condition is false, then the statements will not be executed. I will give one program. First I written hash include stdio.h. After that I written int main, open curly bracket. Here I written int a equal to 10. I given value of a as 10. Now I written if a value is less than 20, guys, you need to give condition inside brackets. If a value is less than 20, open bracket, printf, value is less than 20. Here I given one statement, that is value is less than 20. If a value is less than 20, then I need to get this output. Here I given value of a as 10. 10 is less than 20. This condition is true. So whatever the statement that is present inside if will be executed. So I will get output as value is less than 20. For example, here if I give value of a as 100, 100 is not less than 20. 100 is greater than 20. So whatever the statement that is present inside if will not be executed because condition is false. 100 is not less than 20. So I will not get any output if I give value of a as 100. Guys, you need to remember one important thing, that is here you need to use int main, not void main, because based on the conditions we may skip some statements. So you need to use here int main. Whenever you use here int main, definitely you need to write here return 0. For example, if you want to execute each and every line without skipping any statements, then you can use here void main. But here we are skipping some statements based on the condition. So here you need to use int main. Same program I will explain by using scanf. Here instead of initializing value 100, I am just declaring value, that is int a. I want to give value of a after executing a program. So for that purpose I need to use here scanf. But before that I will write one statement, that is printf enter number. So whatever the statement that is present inside this printf will be seen on my output screen. So here I can see enter number. Now I can enter number by using scanf. So I'm writing here scanf. This a is integer. So I need to use here %d in double quotations comma and a. You should not write a, you should write and a, where and represent address. Whenever I write this line of code, I can enter any number after executing a program. So whenever I execute program, I can see here enter number, and here I can enter any number by using scanf. Now I am giving condition, that is if value of a is less than 50, then I should get output as printf. I need to get output as value is less than 50. Value is less than 50. Close double quotations, semicolon, close bracket, return 0. Because I am using here int main, so you need to write here return 0. So close main function. C program. At first I written int a and I did not initialize any value. I will give value after executing a program by using scanf. So I just written here printf enter number, and by using scanf I can enter any number, and this number will be stored in address a. That is this number will be stored in variable a, and if a value is less than 50, then I should get output as value is less than 50. So after executing program I can see here enter number. So I will enter number, that is 40. 40 is less than 50. This condition is true. So I will get output as value is less than 50. This is use of scanf. I can enter value after executing a program by using scanf. For example, if I give here 400, then 400 is not less than 50. 400 is greater than 50. So I will not get any output. This is C program for if statement. Next I will explain flowchart for this. Guys, this is flowchart for if statement. If condition is true, then statements will be executed. Else, if condition is false, then directly it will end if. This is flowchart for if statement. Guys, you need to give condition in rhombus. Next I will explain if else statement. If condition is true, then whatever the code that is present inside if will be executed. If condition is false, then whatever the code that is present inside else will be executed. This is syntax. Here you need to write if and you need to give condition. If this condition is true, then whatever the code that is present inside if will be executed. Or if condition is false, whatever the code that is present inside else will be executed. This is program. Here I written int a equal to 10. I given value of a as 10, and I am giving condition, that is if a value is less than 20, guys, you need to write this a less than 20 in brackets. and you should never use semicolon here. Open bracket. Here I am giving statement, that is printf value is less than 20. If this condition is satisfied, then the statement will be executed. Or if condition is false, so I am writing here else printf value is greater than 20. If condition is true, then if statement will be executed. Or if condition is false, then whatever the statement that is present inside else will be executed. So I am using here int main. So at last you need to write here return 0 and close main function. Here I given value of a as 10. 10 is less than 20. This condition is true. So I will get output as value is less than 20. For example, in place of 10, if I give here 100, 100 is not less than 20. 100 is greater than 20. So this condition is false. So whatever the statement that is present inside else will be executed. So I will get output as value is greater than 20. If condition is true, whatever the statement that is present inside if will be executed. If condition is false, then whatever the statement that is present inside else will be executed. This is if else statement. I will explain flowchart for if else statement. Guys, this is flowchart for if else statement. Here you need to give condition. If this condition is true, then if statements will be executed. If condition is false, then else statements will be executed. And at last, you need to give stop. This is flowchart for if else statement. Next I will explain else if statement. By using else if statement, you can give multiple conditions. If any particular condition is satisfied, then whatever the statements that are present inside that block will be executed. I will give one program so that you can clearly understand what is else if statement. This is syntax of else if statement. At first you need to write if and you need to give condition. If this condition is satisfied, then whatever the statements that are present inside if will be executed. Next you need to write else if and you need to give else if condition. If this condition is satisfied, then whatever the code that is present inside this else if will be executed. Again you need to write else if and you can give another condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then this code will be executed. At last, if all these conditions are false, then whatever the code that is present inside else will be executed. Guys, you can take multiple else if conditions. This is program. At first I written int a equal to 10. I given value of a as 10. At first I am taking if condition. Here I written if a equal to 10. Guys, definitely you need to use here double is equal to. If a double equal to 10, printf value is equal to 10. Else if a double equal to 20, printf value is equal to 20. Again I written else if a double equal to 30, printf value is equal to 30. At last, if all these conditions are false, then take else printf number not found. Here I given value of a as 10. 10 is equal to 10. This condition is true. So I will get output as value is equal to 10. Here in place of 10, if I give here 20, 20 is equal to 20. So I will get output as value is equal to 20. For example, here if I give 30, then 30 is equal to 30. So I will get output as value is equal to 30. For example, here if I give 100, 100 is not equal to 10, 100 is not equal to 20 and 100 is not equal to 30. So I will get output as number not found. So here I written int main. So at last you need to write return 0 and close main function. This is C program for else if statement. Guys, you can use multiple else if statements. You should never use semicolon here for if, for else if and for else. You should never use semicolon. And here for else you should never give any condition. Else statement does not contain any condition, so don't give any condition for else. This is flowchart for else if statement. By using else if statement, you can give multiple conditions. So at first I written here start. I given 3 conditions: condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3. Guys, you need to give conditions in rhombus. So I took here rhombus. If this condition is true, then the statement will be executed. If this condition is false, then it will go to condition 2. If this condition 2 is true, then this statement will be executed. If condition is false, then it will go to condition 3. If this condition 3 is true, then it will print statement 3. If this condition is false, then it will exit. This is flowchart for else if statement. Next I will explain switch statement. This switch statement is same as else if statement. It is an alternative to else if statement. This is syntax of switch statement. Here at first you need to write switch and inside brackets you need to write expression. Expression is nothing but variable name. For example, here I took int a equal to 0. So here you need to give variable name a. After that you need to give case and give value, and here you need to use colon, not semicolon. You need to use here colon. This case contains some code. If this condition is satisfied, then this code will be executed. We need to break this case and we need to start new case. So again take case value to colon. This case contains some code and give break. Guys, you can take multiple number of cases, and at last you need to give default. If all these conditions are false, then default condition will be executed. So default condition also contains some code. Guys, I will give one program so that you can clearly understand what is switch statement. Here I took int a equal to 0. I given value of a as 0, and after that I took switch. Inside bracket I given variable name. Here I took variable name as a. So I given here a. Open bracket. Here I took case 1. This is nothing but value. I took here value as 1. This is case 1 colon printf number is equal to 1. Here inside this case 1 I am writing statement, that is number is equal to 1. Now you need to break this case 1. Again I took case 2. After that I am writing statement, that is number is equal to 2, and I am breaking this case 2. So I am using here break. Next I took case 3 colon printf number is equal to 3. At last I return default colon number not found. Here I given value of a as 0. So it will compare this with this case value. Here I given value of a as 0. Now we need to compare this value with case value, that is 1, 2 and 3. 0 is not equal to 1. So this will not be executed. Similarly 0 is not equal to 2. This will not be executed. 0 is not equal to 3. It will not be executed. So I will get output as number not found. So if all these conditions are false, then default statement will be executed. So I will get output as number not found. Here I return int main. So you need to write return 0 semicolon close main function. This is program. Here I will get output as number not found. For example, here in place of 0, if I give value of a as 1, here case 1, this 1 is equal to 1. So I will get output as number is equal to 1. If I give value of a as 2, then case 2, this 2 is equal to 2. So I will get output as number is equal to 2. This is C program for switch statement. Next I will explain flowchart. This is flowchart for switch statement. This flowchart is same as else if statement. At first you need to write start or begin. Case 1 contains statement 1, case 2 contains statement 2, so on. At last you need to use default statement. If this case 1 is true, then whatever the statement that is present inside this case 1 will be executed. Similarly, if this case 1 is false, then it will go to case 2. If this case 2 is true, then whatever the statement that is present inside this case 2 will be executed. So on. So if all these cases are not satisfied, then at last it will print default statement. At last you need to end this. This is flowchart for switch statement. Next I will explain nested if statement. If we place one if statement inside another if statement, then we call it as nested if statement. This is an example. Here I took int a equal to 5. I given value of a as 5. Here I am using two if statements. At first I return if a value is less than 10. Inside this I am giving another condition, that is if a value is equal to 5. So at first a value is placed here 5. 5 is less than 10. This condition is satisfied. So again it will compare another if condition, that is a is equal to 5. Value of a is 5. 5 is equal to 5. This condition is true. So I will get output as number is equal to 5. This is flowchart for nested if statement. At first you need to give if condition. If this condition is true, then again it will go to nested if condition. And if this nested if condition is true, then it will print statement which is present in nested if. If these conditions are false, then it will exit. This is flowchart for nested if statement. Next I will explain loops in C. What is loop? Anything that is repeating multiple number of times is known as loop. For example, I want to print one statement, that is my name is Nagendra. So I written here printf, in double quotations I written my name is Nagendra. Close double quotations, close bracket and semicolon. Whenever I execute this program, then I will get output as my name is Nagendra. For example, I want to get output as Nagendra 3 times. So I need to write printf 3 times. So I am writing here printf. By writing this program, I will get output my name is Nagendra 3 times. But I want to write my name is Nagendra 100 times. So 100 times I need to write printf, and inside the printf I need to write my name is Nagendra. But it is impossible to write 100 times. It is very complicated. So in order to overcome this problem, we use loops. By using loops, we can write code once and we can repeat this code multiple number of times. So this is main use of loops. Instead of writing my name is Nagendra 100 times, I can simply write my name is Nagendra once and I can repeat this multiple number of times. So loops are used to repeat block of code until specific condition is met. For example, if I give condition like 10, then I will get my name is Nagendra 10 times. So loop is used to repeat block of code until specific condition is met. This is definition of loop. C programming has 3 types of loops. They are for loop, while loop and do while loop. At first I will explain what is for loop. This is definition of for loop. For loop executes statements of a program several number of times repeatedly until given condition is met. For loop keep on executing the statements until given condition is satisfied. This is syntax of for loop. First you need to write for, open bracket, and here you need to write initialization. Initialization is nothing but here you need to initialize value to a variable like int a equal to 10 semicolon, and here you need to give condition semicolon. At last you need to give increment or decrement operator, close bracket. Inside this for loop you can give multiple number of statements. So until this condition is satisfied, the statements will be printed. I will give one program so that you can clearly understand what is this for loop. Here at first you need to write for open bracket and you need to initialize value to a variable. So I am giving here int a equal to 0 semicolon. After that you need to give condition. Here I am giving condition, that is a less than 10. This is condition semicolon and I am using increment operator I++. I will explain this. Here inside this for loop I am writing statement, that is how are you. So I am writing here printf open bracket open double quotations how are you. This is statement which I written. Use here /n because whenever you use here /n, how are you will be printed on next line. So use here /n inside double quotations, close this double quotations, close bracket, semicolon, close this for loop, and at last close main function. You need to close for loop and at last you need to close main function. I given value of a as 0. So 0 is less than 10, condition is satisfied. So if condition is satisfied, whatever the statement that is present inside for loop will be executed. So I will get output as how are you. After that here I am using increment operator. So it will increment value of 0. I++ is nothing but I plus 1. 0 plus 1, that is 1. So it will increment value to 1. 1 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. So again I will get output as how are you. Again it will increment value of 1. After incrementing value 1 I will get 2. 2 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. So again I will get output how are you. After that 3. 3 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. 4 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. I will get how are you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From 0 to 9. 9 is less than 10. So again I will get output how are you. After incrementing value 9 I will get 10. 10 is not less than 10. 10 is equal to 10. This condition is not satisfied. So it will stop this loop. So starting from 0 to 9. Total 10 times I will get output how are you. This is C program for loop. For example, if you want to print multiple statements like how are you, I am Nagendra. So right here printf my name is Nagendra /n double quotations close bracket semicolon. Whenever you execute this program, then how are you and Nagendra both will be printed 10 times. This is C program for loop. Instead of writing how are you 10 times, you can simply write how are you once and you can repeat this until particular condition is satisfied. For example, if I give condition here a less than 100, then I will get output how are you 100 times. For example, I want to print numbers from 0 to 9 by using for loop. So at first I am taking here int a equal to 0 because I am starting number from 0. So I written here int a equal to 0. I am starting from 0. So I given value of as 0 semicolon and I am giving condition. I want to print numbers from 0 to 9. So at last I need to get 9. So I am giving here condition, that is a less than 10 semicolon. I keep on incrementing values like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So here you need to use a++. Close bracket. Inside this you need to write printf %d. Definitely you need to use here /n because whenever you use here /n, next statement will be printed on next line. For example, if you don't use here /n, then you will get output 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So use here /n double quotations close comma a. Value is present in variable a. So I am giving here a semicolon. Whenever you execute this program, then at first it will take value 0. 0 is less than 10. So it will print value 0 and it will increment value. After incrementing 0, I will get 1. 1 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. So it will print 1 in next line and again it will increment value 2. 2 is less than 10. Condition is satisfied. It will print 2 and again it will increment value. So now I will get 3. 3 is less than 10. So it will print 3 and again it will print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is less than 10. So it will print 8 and again it will increment value, that is 9. 9 is less than 10. So it will print 9 and at last it will increment value to 10. 10 is not less than 10. 10 is equal to 10. So this condition is not satisfied. So it will break loop. This is C program in order to print numbers from 0 to 9. For example, if you want to print numbers from 0 to 99, then you need to use here a less than 100. So it will place 0, 1, 2, 3 so on until 99. For example, if you want to print numbers from 0 to 100, then just you need to write here a less than or equal to 100. So at last it will take 100. 100 is less than or equal to 100. So I'll get output from number 0 to 100. This is C program for loop. At first you need to write start. After that you need to initialize value to a variable. So you need to write initialization in rectangle. After that you need to give condition. I already said before you need to give condition in rhombus. So give condition in rhombus. Until given condition is satisfied, statements will be printed. Whenever it prints statements, it will increment value. So write here increment or decrement operator in rectangle. Until this condition is true, statements inside this for loop will be printed. And whenever it prints statement, it will increment value. And after incrementing value, again it will check condition. And at last, if condition is false, then we can stop for loop. So at last right here stop. This This is flowchart for loop. Next I will explain while loop. Guys, this definition is same for all these three loops. So you can write this definition for while loop. This is syntax for while loop. At first you need to write while and inside brackets you need to give condition. Until this condition is satisfied, then whatever the statements that are present inside this while loop will be executed. Guys, definitely you need to give here increment and decrement operator. Guys, I will give one example so that you can clearly understand what is this while loop. Same program which I have explained before for loop, I will explain the same program by using while loop. Here I want to print how are you 10 times. So at first I am writing here int a equal to 1 starting from number 1. So I written here int a equal to 1. After that inside while I am giving condition, that is a less than or equal to 10. Open curly bracket. Inside this you can give your statement, that is how are you slash n double quotations close bracket semicolon. Here you need to write increment operator, that is a plus plus. Guys, definitely you need to give here increment operator because we are incrementing each and every value. So at first it will take value 1. 1 is less than 10, condition is satisfied, so it will print how are you. Again it will increment value to 2. 2 is less than 10, condition is satisfied, so again it will print how are you. It will increment value to 3. 3 is less than 10, it will print how are you. Again it will increment value to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At last it will take value 10. 10 is equal to 10. So this condition is satisfied. So I will get output how are you from 1 to 10. So total 10 times it will print how are you. For example, if you want to print how are you 100 times, just in place of 10 you can give here 100. So whenever you give like this, you will get output how are you 100 times. For example, I want to print numbers from 1 to 5. So at first I written int a equal to 1 because I am starting from 1 and I am giving condition, that is while a less than or equal to 5. Here I am giving a less than or equal to 5 because I want to print numbers from 1 to 5. So starting from 1 to 5. In order to print this value, you need to write printf %d comma a because value is present in variable a. So I written here %d comma a and here you need to write a plus plus. Whenever you execute this program, at first it will take value 1. Because I given here a equal to 1, so at first it will take 1. 1 is less than 5. So it will print value 1. Printf %d comma a. Whatever the value that is present inside this variable a will be printed as output. So I will get output 1. So by using increment operator a plus plus, it will increment value 1. So after incrementing value 1, I will get value 2. 2 is less than 5, condition is satisfied, so it will print 2. And again it will increment value to 3. 3 is less than 5. So it will print 3. Again it will increment value to 4. 4 is less than 5. So it will print 4. And again it will increment value to 5. 5 is equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. So I will get output 5. So again it will increment value, that is 6. 6 is not less than or equal to 5. 6 is greater than 5. So it will break while loop. We call this for loop and while loop as entry controlled loops because at first it will check condition. Only if this condition is true, then whatever the statements that are present inside this loop will be printed. If this condition is false, then whatever the statements that are present inside this loop will not be printed. So we call this for loop and while loop as entry controlled loops, and we call this do while loop as exit control loop because at first it will print statements. After printing statements, it will check condition. For entry controlled loops, at first it will check condition. Only if condition is true, then whatever the statements that are present inside this loop will be printed. But whereas for exit control loop, at first it will print statements. After printing statements, it will check condition, whether condition is true or not. I will explain this do while loop. This is syntax for do while loop. At first you need to write do. Inside this do, you need to give some statements. And at last you need to give here increment or decrement operator. Here write while and inside bracket you need to give condition. And you need to remember one important thing, that is here definitely you need to use semicolon. For do while loop, for while condition, at last you need to give semicolon. I will give one program so that you can clearly understand what is this do while loop. Here I want to print numbers from 1 to 10 by using do while loop. So at first I am writing here int a equal to 1 because I am starting from 1. And here you need to write do. In order to print this value, you need to write printf %d /n comma a. Guys, for all these three loops, definitely you need to use increment operator or decrement operator. Here I want to get output from 1 to 9. I keep on incrementing values. So here I need to use increment operator, that is a plus plus. Close bracket, and inside while you need to give condition. So you need to write here while. Here I want to print output from 1 to 10. So here inside this while loop I am giving condition, that is a less than or equal to 10. And definitely you need to give here semicolon for do while loop and close this main function. Whenever you execute this program, at first it will print value 1. After that it will check condition. So condition is true. So again it will print 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So by writing this program, I will get output 1 to 10. For example, if I want to print numbers from 1 to 1000, then just in place of 10 you need to give here 1000. Whenever you give here 1000, then you will get output from 1 to 1000 numbers. Guys, this is flowchart for while loop and do while loop. This is flowchart for while loop. At first you need to start here. For while loop you need to give while condition. Until this condition is satisfied, whatever the statements that are present inside this while loop will be executed. Whenever condition fails, then it will stop this loop. This is meaning of this while loop flowchart. Next I will explain flowchart for do while loop. At first you need to write do. Inside this do you need to give some statements, and these statements will be printed until this while condition is satisfied. Here you can give while condition. Until this while condition is satisfied, then whatever the statements that are present inside this do will be printed, and whenever condition reaches to false, then it will stop this loop. In exam they may ask difference between while loop and do while loop. Here I given value of a as 100, but here I given condition, that is a less than 10. 100 is not less than 10, 100 is greater than 10. So whatever the statements that are present inside this while loop will not be executed. So here I will not get any output, because in while loop at first it will check condition. Only if that condition is true, then whatever the statements that are present inside while loop will be executed. But whereas in do while loop, here I given value of a as 100. 100 is not less than 10, 100 is greater than 10. So here I will get output 100, because in do while loop at first it will print statement. After printing that statement it will check condition. So here at first it will print 100. After that it will check condition. 100 is not less than 10, 100 is greater than 10. So it will stop this loop. So whereas in while loop it will not print any output, but whereas in do while loop it will print first value. Guys, in exam they may ask explain control structures. Control structures are classified into three types. They are conditional statements, loops, and conditional operator. A conditional statements contains if else if switch and nested if statements, whereas loops contains while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Conditional operator is nothing but ternary operator. So whenever control structures question comes in exam, then you need to explain all this in detail. Guys, just remember these basics. Int will occupy 2 bytes of memory, and for some systems it will occupy 4 bytes of memory, whereas character will occupy 1 byte of memory and float will occupy 4 bytes of memory.